Young and Wild Outdoors is presented by Trophy Tracks. Track, predict, harvest.
Before we get any further into this episode, I'd been watching this buck I named Kicker for the past 2 years. I had many encounters with this buck back in 2019. Really nice buck for PA, and I had my first encounter with him in the summer of 2019 scouting, and he was a decent 10 point. Saw him in archery season a few times in 2019, and then again in bear season of that year. Then the summer of 2020 came along, and we had got pictures of him all summer long. And he just exploded. Became an absolute monster of a deer, especially for PA. So on October 9th, 2020, Weston and I had set up in an area where I thought we would have the best shot of getting a sight of this buck. And sure enough, there he was. This buck was about to write the script. All the hard work and time put in all came down to this opportunity. As I watched this buck catch us in the act and turn and begin to trot off, I knew the quest for Kicker had finally begun. Weston was unable to get a shot at this buck that we had been watching for the past 2 years. Our hearts dropped. It was unbelievable.
this morning to climb up into. We had a cold front come in last night, and it's sprinkling a little rain. Hopefully the rain dies down completely, but they should be moving this morning. So we're just gonna sit here and, like Weston said last week, hopefully a big old buck just comes walking through.
On November 6th, 2020, I had an encounter with an absolute monster of a buck. It wasn't Kicker, but once again, we were unable to pull through.
It's finally in full swing. It's November 6th. We've had action all morning. It's been a pretty crazy morning, actually. We had a shooter come in at about 7 o'clock. Just was too far, and he had his nose to the ground, and he was trotting. He was looking for does, so we had a couple smaller bucks come in, a bunch of does all morning, but the plan is to sit all day, see what happens. So we're just gonna sit here. We're gonna grunt a little bit. We're gonna throw out some bleats, and hopefully Kicker decides to show up. That's what we're hoping for. So, all right, stay tuned.
After multiple hunts, multiple encounters, hard work, and many hours put in to try and kill this deer, we never heard of this buck being killed, but the buck we had named Kicker had been after for 2 years. After the 2020 season, we never saw him again.